Good morning. This is Kat Chin, Board President of the Oregon Board of Pharmacy. I will now call this meeting of the Oregon Board of Pharmacy to order. Today is Wednesday, June 11th, 2025, and it is 8:31 a.m. Board of Pharmacy meetings are conducted in accordance with the Oregon Public Meetings Law. Under the Public Meetings Law, governing body meetings are open to the public except as otherwise provided by law. The presiding officer has the authority to keep order and to impose any reasonable restrictions necessary for the efficient and orderly conduct of a meeting. Governing bodies are authorized by ORS 192.660 to meet in executive session in certain limited situations, including the consideration of information obtained by Healthcare Regulatory Board as part of an investigation of licensee or applicant conduct. All official actions by the board must be taken by public vote, and the vote of each member must be recorded. Mission. The Oregon Board of Pharmacy serves to promote and protect public health, safety, and welfare by ensuring high standards in the practice of pharmacy and through effective regulation of the manufacture and distribution of drugs. In addition, the Oregon Board of Pharmacy is committed to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, DEIB, within its organization and for the public it serves. This commitment is reflected in board membership, agency staffing, and the services provided in its efforts to promote patient safety and ensure access to quality pharmacy care. The board encourages review of its full 2024-2026 DEIB plan located on the board website. When I'll call roll for board and staff, for the record, when I call your name, please verbally acknowledge here. Board President Kat Chin here. Board Vice President Rich Joyce.
Here.
Board Member Shannon Beeman.
Here.
Board Member Jennifer Hall. She is delayed. Board Member Amy Kirkbride. Here. Board Member Victoria Kroger.
Here.
Board Member Priyal Patel.
Here.
Board Member Ana Pinedo.
Here.
Compliance Officer Joe Ball.
Here.
Compliance Director Brianna Eckermont.
Here.
Compliance Officer Cheryl Fox.
Here. She's here. Unfortunately, I need to go get the speaker from our office.
Okay. Licensing Director Chrissy Hannigan here. Compliance Assistant Kate Klingberg.
Here.
Compliance Officer Jane Lee.
Here.
Compliance Officer Danny McComas.
Here.
Also here, but the
Online.
speaker online. Okay. Francis Manager Rachel Melvin is here. Just stepped out to fix the microphone. Compliance Officer Brian Murch.
Here.
Compliance Assistant Tasha Pearson.
Here.
Compliance Officer Aaron Richmond.
Here.
Executive Director Gary Runyon.
Here.
Board Counsel Angela Hunt here. Before I move on and don't remember to do this, welcome to our new Executive Director, Gary Runyon. His first meeting since the craziness. And welcome. We're really glad to have you in this position, Gary. All right, now that's all. Public comment information. Public comment will occur towards the end of the meeting on 6/13/2025. The board will not deliberate any issues or requests during public comment, such as formal requests, issues currently under investigation, requests pending before the board, or currently proposed rules. Public comment is limited to matters that were noticed on the board meeting agenda, and comments will not be allowed that are longer than the time allotted by the chair. To sign up to provide public comment, email your request to pharmacy.board@bop.oregon.gov by noon on 6/13/2025. Housekeeping and etiquette. Board and agency staff, identify yourself as board or agency staff member, last name each time you speak. Please speak one at a time and directly into the microphone. Raise your hand when you have a question or comment and silence all devices. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and retained for public record-keeping purposes. The board will meet in executive session for most of the day. We'll break for lunch from 12 to 1 and we'll resume open session around 4:30 p.m. We will now review board meeting agenda. Do board members have any proposed revisions to the meeting agenda? Board President Shin, no. Board Vice President Joyce.
No.
Board Member Beeman.
Yeah.
Board Member Hall is still delayed. Board Member Kirkbride.
No.
Board Member Kroger.
No.
Board Member Patel.
No.
Board Member Pinedo.
No.
Agenda review. Is there a motion to move to approve the agenda as proposed? So moved, Board Member Beeman.
Here's Board Member Joyce.
President Chin, yes. Board Vice President Joyce.
Yes.
Board Member Beeman. Yes. Board Member Hall is absent. Board Member Kirkbride.
Yes.
Board Member Kroger.
Yes.
Board Member Patel.
Yes.
Board Member Pinero.
Yes.
Motion passes. Prior to going to an executive session, board members must announce if they are recusing themselves from compliance cases. Please state the case number and the reason for recusal, such as bias, direct financial, potential financial, or witness in a case. Board President Chin, none. Board Vice President Joyce.
Board Vice President Joyce, I do recuse from a few cases. If I can find that sheet here. Oh, here it is. Cases, 2021 0262, 2021 0585, 2021 0586, 2024 0901, and 2025 0027 for potential bias.
Board Member Freeman. None. Board Member Hall. Member Hall. Please note that board member Hall joined us at 8:37, and I don't have you listed for any recusals. Is that correct, board member Hall? Board member Hall, yes, that's correct. Thank you. Perfect. Board member Kirkbride.
No recusals.
And board member Kroger, you have the floor.
Thank you.
Floor.
Board Member Kroger, I will be recusing from case 2023-0382, 2023-0582, 2023-0584, 2024-0207, 2024-0231, 2024-0232, 2024-0260, 2024-0304, 2024-0372, 2024-0373, 2024-0424, 2024-0634, 2024-0988, 2025-0136, 2025-0155, 2025-0288, 2025-0361, 2025-0556, 2025-0557 for potential bias. I'll also recuse from case 2021-0374, 2021 0620, 2021 0622, 2021 0643, 2021 0671, 2021 0784, 2022 0248, 2023 0381, 2023 0581, 2023 0583, 2023 0648, 2024 0206, 2024 0259, 2024 0423, 2024 0529, 2024-0633, 2024-0933, 2025-0135, 2025-0138, 2025-0228 for potential financial.
Thank you. Board member Patel.
Member Patel, I'm going to recuse cases from, case number 2020-0408, 2021-03044 for witness in case, and 2025-0257, 2025-0258 for potential bias. Yeah, sorry, potential financial.
Anders.
Think that there was one which I discovered last night. Give me 1 second, it's fine. Can we, oh, here, another one is 2025-0254 and 2025-0255 for potential bias.
You, board member Pineda. Thank you. We will now receive an informational report from Executive Director Ryan.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm very excited to speak to you in my new role as Executive Director. If you know me at all, you know that I can be a little verbose, if you will. So hopefully this turns out to be more of a preamble and a little less of a pre-ramble, if you will. So this is your last chance to take a few extra sips of caffeine, take a phone call, or get one last morning stretch in. Hopefully this will be a little more inspirational and philosophical than informational. So hang on to your seats there. Very recently, a respected colleague told me everyone has their own agenda, their own set of motives. So understand that when you're framing your interactions with them. This is true. We all have our own agenda, our own motives, the reasons that lurk behind the curtain of why we do what we do. We often become so consumed with the mechanics of what we're doing that we forget to consider the meaning. So let me ask you one simple question. Why are you here? This leads me to one of my favorite essays called Helping, Fixing, or Serving from a physician philanthropist by the name of Rachel Naomi Raymond. I'll give you a brief synopsis and cover some of my favorite highlights. Helping, fixing, and serving represent three different ways of seeing life. When you help, you see life as weak. You become aware of your own strength. Helping is not a relationship between equals. It represents an inequality that is often felt. When you fix, you see life as broken, and you respond to others with your expertise. Fixers may not see the wholeness in another person or trust the integrity of life within them. When you serve, you see life instead as whole. And when we don't serve with our strength, we serve with ourselves, drawing from all of our experiences. Our limitations serve, our wounds serve, even our darkness can serve. Pain can become the source of compassion, woundedness the key to empathy, or abundance the source of selflessness. Fixing and helping are draining, but service is renewing. Here comes my favorite line from the essay. Fixing and helping may be the work of the ego, but service is the work of the soul. So I ask you again, why are you here? Are you here to heal, to fix, or are you here to serve? Whether we realize it or not, I believe we're all here to serve. In fact, it's right there in our mission statement, the part about promoting and protecting the public health, safety, and welfare. This is the quintessential representation of servitude. This should be our North Star, the overarching guide that directs all we do, and something that we should strive to never lose sight of. I'll move on from here and say a few things to staff, the board, interested parties, and then wrap up with one final thought. To staff, I'm honored to serve alongside you. Every day I step into our office or log onto our VPN, in the rare event that it's actually working properly, I'm reminded of what an absolute privilege it is to work with such a unique group of highly talented individuals. With your support, encouragement, and the camaraderie we share, my time at the agency seems less like work and more like a calling. I'm inspired by the work I've seen you do. It's no well-kept secret that the agency has experienced significant transition over the last year and a half, but despite this constant state of flux, you've remained steadfast in your unwavering commitment to protecting the public health, safety, and welfare. I only wish that others could see the overt sacrifices you make, the care you give, and the devotion that you exhibit every single day. I'm appreciative of you welcoming me into the fold, treating me like family, and like I had something of value to offer even early on in my tenure. It is now my turn to do the very same for you, to ensure you continue to feel welcome in my office for any reason at any time, to stick up for you like family, and to make sure you know that I think of each of you as a valuable part of this team. And to the board, I'm truly thankful that you placed your trust in me to lead this agency. As I've stated before, this is the honor of a lifetime, and it is with great pride and enthusiasm that I serve in this role. I understand what a privilege this is, the magnitude of responsibility it comes with, and I hope you know that your faith has been appropriately placed. In the short time I've been at the helm, I've taken bold action to keep our House bills alive, even when faced with staunch opposition. And while I can't always guarantee outcomes, I can guarantee that I will always act with courage and conviction and with the agency's best interests in mind. I've had tough conversations, both internally and externally. Silence is often the path of least resistance, and without resistance, there is no growth. Therefore, committed to growth, development, and evolution of myself, staff, and the agency, I'm emboldened to navigate these often precarious situations head on. I've taken an honest look at where we are, how we got here, and where we need to go moving forward. There's a variation of an old proverb that says, if you never look in the mirror, you'll always be unhappy with what you see. There's never been a greater need for critical and objective self-reflection, no pun intended, within the agency than there is now, and I'm moving forward with the widespread support of staff to do just that. And we might not always agree, but you can always expect the following from me: honesty, I'll do what I say and own what I do; integrity, I'll do what is right, even when no one is looking; and transparency, I'll always share what I can and be honest about what I can't. And lastly, to interested parties, I want you to know that I see you. I've spent countless hours in the field getting to know you, building relationships, fortifying alliances. I acknowledge the dedication you show, the tireless work you invest, and the high standards of care that you deliver, all despite the unprecedented demands of today's tumultuous practice landscape. I hear you, even when certain things are hard to listen to. I've heard what you have to say and take it to heart. I may not always be readily able to translate feedback into observable action, but know that the impressions created by your candid and forthcoming input always have value. And I support you as a practicing pharmacist with over 22 years experience providing care on the front lines of community pharmacies across the nation. I will always strive to evaluate proposed actions and their implementation through the lens of common sense, practicality, and utility. And I'll leave you with one final thought, and that is my call to action. To each and every one of you here, to each and every one of you listening, we're on the precipice of great change, but we're also on the cusp of great potential. And I'm furiously optimistic that the future which awaits ahead is much brighter than the past which lies behind. All it requires is that we simply cast our differences aside, reach out our hands instead of pointing our fingers, let our memories of past transgressions dissipate, and unite, moving forward in unison with a shared vision toward a common goal. We're alone at best. We can write our own stories, but together we have the power to build legacies. This begs one simple yet obligatory question: what do we want our legacy to be? President Chin?
Oh, microphone.
I'm still what you said. The time is now 8:49 a.m. This executive session is held pursuant to ORS 192.660, para 1, 2, little f, capital L, ORS 192.690, para 1, ORS 676.165, and ORS 676.175, which allows the board to meet in executive session to consider information or records that are exempt from law from public inspection. Representatives of the media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session. Representatives of the media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision may be made in executive session. At the end of executive session, we will return to open session and welcome the public back into the meeting. Is there a motion to move to enter executive session for the purpose of legal advice, review and discussion of investigations and disciplinary cases at 8:50 a.m.?
So move, Board Member Beaman.
Second, Board Member Joyce?
Board President Shin, yes. Board Vice President Joyce?
Yes.
Board Member Beaman?
Yes.
Board Member Hall?
Yes.
Board Member Kirkbride?
Yes.
Board Member Kroger?
Yes.
Board Member Patel?
Yes.
Board Member Pinedo?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Please wait while Transitions from open session to executive session.